RJ Eskow. This week I wrote an article for the American Prospect on the history of the Republican Party's war against Social Security. I read extensive histories of the Republican Party. I read Barry Goldwater's 1960 manifesto, The Conscience of a Conservative, which was actually ghost written by a hard right extremist named Brent Bozell. I looked at some of the original debates over Social Security, read books by my friend Nancy Altman, among others. And in other words, in deeply studying the history of the Republican Party's attitude toward social programs, you could say I went spelunking in the dark caves of the human spirit so that you don't have to. And here's what I came out with. By the way, the article, if you want to see it in the American Prospect, is entitled How the GOP could win its long war against Social Security, and they could. The upcoming election could give them the ability to do this. But just to give you a certain sense of what we're dealing with, first of all, I got my hands on a Zoom conversation that was held among Republican members of the House Ways and Means Committee. My favorite, if you want to use that word for it, line from it is one of the Republicans says, and I quote, "The honest conversation is the conversation that can't be had." Sounds Zen-like. It sounds like a koan, except when you take it in context, what he had said before that was that the Republicans would all, and I quote, get thrown out of office if we would, quote, all get thrown out of office if we told the truth, end quote, about their plans for Social Security, and said that talking about their plans openly would amount to, quote unquote, political suicide. Politico says Social Security is the third rail Republicans can't stop touching. Politico writes, Social Security and Medicare are wildly popular, so why do GOP Senate candidates keep talking about privatizing them? End quote. Well, I'll tell you why. Because they've wanted to do it ever since Social Security was created in 1935 during the congressional debate over the Social Security Act of 1935. One Republican congressman said that the bill would create, quote, and I'm quoting now, a power so vast, so powerful as to threaten the integrity of our institutions and to pull the pillars of the temple down upon the heads of our descendants, end quote. That's how much one Republican hated Social Security. Another said that if this bill was passed, Social Security was created, and I quote, the lash of the dictator will be felt, end quote. In the end, a bunch of Republicans, not all of them, but many of them did vote for Social Security. After they tried hard to derail it, realizing it was popular, they hid their true intentions and voted for it. I document that in the article. The historian who writes that adds that tactic, that is, of hiding their motivations, enabled later generations of Republicans to disguise their party's visceral and abiding dislike of Social Security. Of course, that visceral and abiding dislike didn't go away. I have a ton more quotes I could tell you. Alf Landon, their 1936 candidate, called it a cruel hoax. Barry Goldwater said that it and like programs would give, quote, unlimited political and economic power as absolute as any Oriental despot, thereby throwing racism as well as love of inequality into the equation, turning everyone who received these programs into, quote unquote, a dependent animal creature. This is how much they hate Social Security. Now they're openly talking about the fact that what they intend to do if they get Congress back is hold something called the debt limit ceiling hostage, threatening a worldwide financial catastrophe unless the president and the other elected Democrats go along with them in gutting this program. This is a terrifying prospect from a party that has always hated Social Security.